What's up, player? Yeah. And living there talking head. Coming to you live for Daigo, VRified Games. How are you doing, Daigo?
It's me, Daigo.
Yep. Sure is.
I'm sorry, Ed. Yeah. So, how's it going?
Yeah. Yes, alright. So what are we doing today, my man?
Well, Ed, I gotta tell you, when UEVR was announced...
Oh, yeah, more UEVR.
Yeah, well, it's freaking awesome. But anyway, when UEVR was announced, I got a little bit excited because I knew the PC ports for Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time were built using Unreal Engine. Or at least that was a foundation for the PC port on official remakes. So naturally, that led me to believe that, I will be able to play Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time in VR, like proper 60OF VR. The possibility of first person is there. I got super excited. Unfortunately, the ports do not work with UEVR because yes, although Unreal Engine is used as a basis, the original game engines are still utilized. So it's not like a case that it's remade in Unreal Engine. It's hard to explain, but it's still the original game engine, just framed by Unreal so you can get it into your PC. So sadly it didn't work, but that led me down the rabbit hole of Unreal Engine remakes, like unofficial remakes of established titles. And you might remember a few weeks back we discovered a remake of Legend of Zelda for the NES that was built using Unreal Engine, and we got into first-person VR with motion controls. So I started looking, and while I was on my search, I discovered that this guy, Kryzen, had been actively developing Nintendo games for the Unreal Engine for the best part of a decade already. Now, that name may not be familiar to you, but if you've been keeping up to date with UEVR, you may have noticed quite a few videos out there of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remade using Unreal Engine 5. Now, that's this guy's baby. That's Kryzen's baby. So if you go onto his Patreon, you're going to find a number of Nintendo titles that he had worked on. And I know I've been meandering, but I'm getting back around to my point now.
Oh, you meandering? Yeah, that almost never happens.
Yeah. But getting back to my original point, Mario 64. It's up there. He remade it. Now, calm down. Before I go any further, he has abandoned that project. Sadly. Unfortunately, he received a cease and desist from Nintendo way back. I think it was 2016, 2017. And he had to stop working on it. So he had a version of Mario 64 that he had developed on Unreal Engine 4. Sadly, it will not see the light of day, but what has been released is 4 levels. Now, to call it a game would be generous. It's more like sort of virtual tourism, I would say. And that's not his fault. Unfortunately, he couldn't complete it. But the 4 stages are complete, as in the level, geometry, design, layout, they're done. Unfortunately, enemies are not present in 3 out of the 4 experiences, so all you can really do is explore. Now, all of Mario's movesets, animations, they're all present and correct, they all work. And there is one level which is playable start to finish, which is a boss fight. So basically in this package, link in the description, you have the opening stage, Peach's Castle, that you can freely walk around that area, check it out. There's Cold Mountain, which you may remember as a level with a little penguin that you could just drop off the sides, and yeah, okay, nobody ever did that, yeah, nobody picked up the penguin and dropped him off the sides, Yeah, so that level's there. You've got the semi-secret Boo Mansion, which was like, I suppose, almost a precursor to Luigi's Mansion. Way back in Nintendo 64, there was this secret stage where you could go to a Boo Mansion and complete various tasks, get a star, and that was basically, I'm sure that was the germ of the idea behind Luigi's Mansion anyway. That section is playable from the outside only, you can't enter, and you can interact with the Boos there. And the final stage, which is in fact playable, start to finish, a very, very faithful remake of the Bowser fight. The first time you fight Bowser in Mario 64, that entire stage. So we'll go through them all. So yeah, 3/4 of this is basically just a virtual tourist experience. With the magic of UEVR, not only can you experience it from a third-person perspective, which works amazingly well, but we've also made a profile for first-person perspective as well, so you can view these areas from Mario's eyes. You can walk around, jump, all of that, explore, and check out these levels. So it's really cool seeing these stages brought up to date well, up to date as of 2016, 17, 18, whenever it was that this was abandoned with Unreal Engine. And yeah, the levels are on one point very faithful, and at the second point updated masterfully. The Mario model himself is fantastic. Nothing can be faulted here. And if you've played his Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Unreal Engine 5 remake, you know that this guy is very, very talented. He knows what he's doing. So this is a really, really cool experience for people who grew up with Mario 64, who love Mario 64, played it to death. You're going to love being able to jump in here now and experience it all in virtual reality, have the world around you, interact with it. And this level with Bowser is fantastic. It plays exactly as I remember from Nintendo 64. It really is a masterful piece of work. It's just such a shame that Nintendo clamped down on him. It's likely going to happen with Zelda. It's happened with his other Nintendo-based projects. So, guys, I would say get downloading this before Nintendo force them to remove it entirely. Link to the Patreon. It's free to actually download, to join his Patreon and download it. It's free, but you can donate. And, you know, clearly a lot of blood, sweat and tears have gone into this and his other projects, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to buy the guy a coffee, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a great little experience. So, Cryzen, Braydog, thank you both very much for allowing me to re-experience Mario 64 in a way I did not think possible. Thank you very much indeed. So I guess we're going to leave it there, you guys. Like, comment and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, queries, any critiques, put them down below. If indeed there are any games you'd like us to look at VRifying in the future, put those down below and we will presumably get back to you eventually. You can also follow us on TikTok for our adventures over there, which are basically condensed versions of what we do over here. And yeah, follow us on all social medias. All links will be in the descriptions, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you there also. Alright, VRified Games out.